It looks like I am live. Hello, 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 2022. It is 2022, and I'm Dr. Priscilla. I am a native English speaker. I live in the US. Welcome, welcome to my first live stream in this new year. I hope everyone is doing fantastic. If you're watching me live, thank you so much for watching me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you're catching me live. I'm really happy that you're here. So I want you to come on in, tell me where you're from. I'll type that. What country are you from? And what questions are you going to pose for me this evening? It is 7:30 p.m. in the US. I am in the eastern part of North Carolina, and it is amazing that the temperature is quite comfortable this evening. It is about 55 degrees, which isn't too terribly cold, and it's not too terribly hot. So come on in, come on in, come on in, and let's get those questions asked. And even if you are a little inhibited about asking your questions, some of the questions I already know that you would like to ask me. But I'd love to hear from you. Type in the chat the questions that you want me to answer for you, and I will do my very best to do that. We won't be here, maybe we'll be here for 30 minutes, a little longer if need be, but let's see how it rolls out. Let's just find out how it rolls out. Oftentimes, students have come to me and asked, Dr. Priscilla, why is it that when I'm speaking, that the words are in my head? I know what I want to say. I clearly understand what the native English speaker is saying. However, when it is time for me to respond, it's as if the words will just evaporate from my head and I feel dumbfounded. I don't know what happened to the words. It's only after the conversation has ended that every word that I want to say comes flooding to the top of my head, almost as if it wants to erupt like a volcano through my mouth. Why is that? It's a simple answer, but yet the answer isn't quite that simple. What is missing is the opportunity for you to practice. When you get the opportunity to practice speaking on a level of frequency, those words that are harbored in the back of your brain will start to stream forward in the appropriate manner from your mouth. You just have to trust the process, that you really do know those vocabulary words. And I can attest to that. Many of my students that have started with me did have a plethora of vocabulary words. However, when they started to speak, initially, it was as if they were a deer in headlights. They were frozen. They had this idea that what I would call the boogeyman is going to come out, chastise them, scare them, or do something that's unmentionable. But that's never the case, or that's rarely the case. Rarely do people feel as if they can't sympathize with the non-native English speaker. There are many things that I can't do, even though I am an American and I'm a native English speaker. There are just some things that I don't know. I don't know everything. Neither does anyone else. No one knows everything about everything. Let's think for a moment in your native language. In your native language, are you easily embracing every conversation that you're in, that you're involved with? Probably not. And because you're not that engaged with every conversation in your native language, when you are comfortable with the person that you're speaking with and you are cognizant of the conversation, you're bringing more to the conversation in your native language. This will happen in English as well. When you are comfortable with the topic, you will begin to speak with fluency and confidence. How do you reach that level? That would be a question. Like, how do you do that? You do that with practice. Anything that you want to be good at, you have to practice. It just doesn't happen overnight. You have to practice. Even if it means writing things down on paper, taking notes, reading those notes, and practicing some more. Now, for me, I know that to facilitate the learning of my students, I have many thousands of YouTube videos available for students to review and practice. While doing so, the students can not only learn what it is that they are weak in, they can build up those muscles. It's like building a muscle. When you work on something and you work diligently with that something, you will become stronger. You will become such an effervescent person that you'll bubble over and people will admire you. One, because you stuck to whatever it is that you're doing. But you have to believe that anything that you want to do is achievable. How do I know this? I know it because I have gone through it. For example, there was a time, you may not believe this, but it is actually true, when I was very, very shy. And rarely did I talk. Not because I didn't know English. I just thought, who would want to listen to what I would have to say? Who wants to listen to me? I took coaching lessons. I've taken many coaching lessons, not for the benefit of non-native English speakers, but for my own self-development, for my professional development. I wanted to be very good at whatever it is that I embarked upon, and I needed help in order to do that. In seeking that help, I was able to identify how I could help others. And this is why I'm just so excited about being able to come and talk to you guys today here on YouTube in 2022 about your plans of reaching targeted goals by the end of 2022. Will it take you a full 12 months to reach your goal? I don't know. For some, maybe. For others, maybe not. And then there are some, it may take even more than one full year. But there are things that you can do right now that will move that needle a little bit further to success for you if you have a plan. I don't know exactly how many of you are members of my Telegram group, but that is available to you. The Telegram group is available for you to come and practice and document where you are today or the day that you started. You come there, you talk. You can talk as long as you want. That doesn't mean that you're going to get a response to everything that you're saying. You're doing this for you. When you do something for yourself, you're putting yourself in a better position to succeed. So don't worry about what negative Nancy is saying or doubting Tom is saying. Do everything that you're doing for you. Do not do it to impress me, but impress upon yourself that this is something that you can do. I want to invite you now to join the free Telegram group where you can come and talk. You can do video chats. You can do microphone chats. And I don't necessarily encourage you to do a lot of type texting, but that is available for you as well. I'm providing you with a safe space for you to come and let your voice be heard. Because I want to tell you, on January 10th, yes, January 10th, I'm rolling out my once in a lifetime program. It is entitled Owning Your Voice. owning your voice, not my voice, but owning your voice with your accent. Oftentimes, students will say, Dr. Priscilla, how can I sound more native? How can I sound like you? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You don't want to sound like me. You want to sound like yourself. You want your voice. Can you imagine if everyone sound the same? We all had the same rhythm. We had the same beat, intonation. It would be boring. This is why we love listening to music. Some people like gospel, spiritual, jazz, rap, and just whatever those sounds are. People like differences. There is value in variety. The one thing that I want for each of you that is listening to me tonight, this morning, or this afternoon, is that I want you to know that there is value in diversity. When you enroll and find that you have someone that is coachable, someone that can coach you, you will learn how to enunciate your words properly. For me, it doesn't matter if you have a British accent, an Australian accent, an American accent, an Indian accent, Arabic accent, whatever the case may be. The defining niche is the clarity in which you speak. When you start to speak with clarity, this is what will propel you to those success stories. You start out in a position, for an example, in a company, and you start at the entry level. But because you're able to speak English with such fluency and clarity, people are going to knock down the doors to get to you. Why? Because you have something that many Americans don't have. You have the ability to speak 1, 2, 3, and sometimes 4, or maybe even more than 4 languages. In addition to that, you know the skill set for the position for which you are aspiring to. Now, there is something to be said for those individuals who will harbor just a list of vocabulary words, word after word after word after word. Some of the words non-native English speakers bring to my attention, I have to look them up because they're not necessarily words that I would use. In a general conversation, we tend to speak in a basic, free-flowing language. I'm not applying for a position as a dentist, a physician, or a mechanic, so I don't need specialized learning or specialized vocabulary. But rarely will you find a native English speaker talking to you with a pad in their hand full of vocabulary words. And this, to my sadness, I will say that so many of my students, before they became my students, would say, I have a huge vocabulary. And you do. You have a huge vocabulary. But those vocabulary words that you're using, they're so unrealistic for the conversation that you're engaging upon. So I want to invite you to consider my beta program that I'm rolling out in January, in this month, as a matter of fact. For the first 15 people that enroll, you are going to get the bonuses that no one else will be able to receive. Do I want you to commit to the opportunity right now? Of course not, because everyone isn't suited for my program. You will need to actually schedule a conversation with me. I want to define what the program entails and see if this would be a good fit for you. but this is only for the first 15. Let's just call you guys my VIP. Very important people. The program is still open, but the first 15 people will get that special bonus, and we'll talk more about that a little later. Somewhere below, you will see that I will post the information that you need to contact and connect with me to have that consultation. The consultation is completely free, but it is time sensitive. The deadline for it is going to be January 10th. The program itself rolls out on January 15th. I'm so excited about the opportunity to share this information with you and answer any questions that you have. Now, if you are watching this as a replay, I'll check back in the later part of tonight to see if there are any comments below the YouTube, to see if there are comments or feedback. And if you're watching me live, if you have any comments or feedback that you'd like to post at this time, I would love to entertain that as well. Some of you that may watch, or you may even be watching now, you have this daunting thought, I don't know how to introduce myself. I don't know how to get directions when I am at the airport. I don't know how to perform appropriately at a restaurant. What is a tip? Why do Americans tip when in your country there's no such thing as a tip? Why do we do that? How do you make arrangements to get to the hospital? What are the medical facilities? How do you apply for a job? All of those questions can be answered for you in my program. My program is going to be detailed for you. Everyone has a specific need, so this is why you will have the consultation. You will have the consultation because I will detail for you what we will do in the program. How long is the program? The program is 3 months. It's like a semester of college at university. The majority of my students are either university students or they are already employed someplace. Some of my students have actually arrived here in the United States and they are working in the United States. Some of my students are progressing through the English proficiency exam, such as the IELTS or the TOEFL, the CET. Whatever the program is that you need, I believe I have an answer for you and I can help you through that program. So don't sleep on this opportunity to get in and ask questions and find out if in fact this program is for you. Now, let's see what else is there that is important that I think that you should know. You will meet with me 3 times a week. 3 times a week, you will meet with me for me to coach you on how to become the best version of yourself in whatever it is that you are striving to be. Will there be vocabulary? Absolutely. There will be appropriate vocabulary based upon your needs, your desires, and your aspirations. Once I understand clearly what it is that you're seeking, then I will do my very best to make sure that you're connected with the resources and the opportunities to share and express yourself in a meaningful way that is going to keep you on that path of resiliency and eliminate those limiting beliefs that you have that you can't do something. I'm going to teach you. More importantly, you are going to learn that the limiting beliefs that you have are those boulders that is keeping you from moving faster. So once we understand what those limiting beliefs are, you're going to be able to move faster. What exactly is a limiting belief? One limiting belief that many English language learners have is the fact that because there aren't any native English speaking people in your country to speak with, that you don't have the opportunity to do so. That is no longer true. As you're watching me right now, I'm not in any country but my own. But I hope that you can feel the sincerity in my voice. You can feel my presence, and you know that I see you. I see you. And when you know that someone is seeing you, someone is hearing you, it's as if I am right there with you. So 3 times a week, I will be right there with you, championing you on to your success. And when you falter, and you will falter as I have, I'm going to be there to give you a hand, to lift you up, to help you get to where you need to be from point A to point B. You will learn vocabulary, phrasal verbs, idioms, slang. You will learn some grammar. But here's the thing about grammar. Grammar will take care of itself. As a native English speaker, I did not need to study grammar. The good thing for you is that most countries are teaching the students grammar. If we were put to a test and we had to take a pen and paper test on grammar, you most likely would pass with a higher score than myself. Your deficiency is in the ability to speak with fluency. That's my strength, and this is what I will be able to help you with. My vocabulary is vast, perhaps because of my doctoral studies and the 2,000 plus students that I worked with while I was going through my studies. I had opportunities to meet with students from all over the world, and I was so impressed with their vocabulary, and to be able to keep up with what they wanted to share with me, I had to up my game with my vocabulary. But I don't use those vocabulary words, but I do know what they mean. What I'll look for when speaking and interacting with you is the opportunity to put things in context. And here's a little thing that I'd like to share. I don't necessarily think that my ex-husband is watching this YouTube video, and it doesn't matter if he is, because it's true. When we were married, or before we were married and during the dating stage, I was just so enamored by all of the vocabulary words that he used when he talked about things about me. They were just so up there that I thought, oh my gosh, I never saw myself with such high acclaim or such high esteem, only to realize that the more I got to know him, he felt the same way about this thing, this house, this object. Everything was elaborate with his vocabulary. And then I realized that this was just the way that he talked, which was quite different than the way that I would express the same thing. For me, if something is nice, it isn't beautiful, it's nice. It's okay. If I cooked a meal, it wasn't succulent, it was okay. It was a good meal. But if it was succulent, I was just like, oh my gosh, I was just like a chef. I was the best cook there was. It was only after spending time with him, as you will spend time with me, that you will learn the appropriate vocabulary. It is a blessing that you do have the academic vocabulary, but most people do not speak with academic vocabulary. All right, I'm checking. There aren't any questions for me, and I can't check the Facebook to see if there are any questions posed there. But the video is here. It will be posted forever and ever. Again, the first 15 people that respond will be the VIP, and you will get, if you know anything about a beta program, there is a lot to be absorbed, and you're going to get this at a phenomenal price. I don't want to talk about the price here in the open forum at this moment, because I want people to speak with me before they jump into something, and it may not be exactly what it may not be exactly a good fit for them. But if it is a fit for them, I have other programs, but the one program that I'm talking about now, it is my brand new program, and it is owning your voice. When you own your voice, you don't struggle over trying to sound like me or any other native English speaker. You want to be able to pronounce your words correctly with precision. I'm going to teach you how to do that in a short period of time, interacting with me, asking questions, getting your questions answered, and giving you experiences, real life experiences that you will find very difficult to get in your own native country alone. Am I telling you something that you can't do alone? Absolutely not. With technology available as it is today, there isn't anything that I'm going to tell you today that you can't do alone. The difference is it's time. Time is money. You have to go find the resources. You have to find someone who is willing to speak with you when it is convenient for you. The chances of you being able to do that is quite slim, but quite possible. This is why people in America or in the US go to university. We go to university because there are things that we want to accomplish in the shortest period of time, but be as credible and qualified to do what we do. So, as an aside to this, as I completed my doctoral studies, I worked with over 2,000 non-native English speakers. Technology was not as vast and rampant as it is today, but I have a wealth of knowledge and understanding of what is required and how the non-native English speaker can move at a faster rate, build that muscle of improving their English fluency in a short period of time. If this is what you'd like to do, please take advantage of the opportunity to connect with me using the information that will be in the section below this video. I'm Dr. Priscilla. I am a native English speaker. I live in the US, and it has been my pleasure to speak with you. So your mission, if you want to get on that career path of speaking excellent English with confidence and fluency, don't sleep on this opportunity to connect with me. Until then, bye for now.